imagine a complete blackout. You take out your phone and you see hundreds of notifications of beautiful auroras. You go outside and you see them, beautiful auroras here in Belgium. But then you see something else. Cars have crashed into each other, traffic lights are out, there is no electricity at all. Planes are headed towards the city. All satellites are failing. And then you hear a big explosion. All nuclear plants explode. This is not science fiction. It could happen today. And it could happen due to a solar storm. Let me try to explain this to you briefly. A solar storm is actually dangerous particles coming from the outer layer of the sun, and when they hit the Earth, all of what I just said could happen. And it did happen. It happened 150 years ago. Such a solar storm actually hit the Earth. But at the time, our planet was not such a tech planet yet. And therefore, all these catastrophic things didn't happen. The telegraph system that was in place at the time did collapse. Now, today, for the next 50 years, the chance of such a solar storm hitting the Earth is about 50%. Don't worry, you don't have to do anything about this. Scientists are doing this for you. They are studying the outer layer of the sun, where these outbursts of dangerous particles happen, and then they can tell us what to do in case such a solar storm would hit the Earth. And as it happens, I'm also working on such a mission. I am working on the mission called Proba 3, and this is what the two satellites look like. One of them is carrying a round disk and will be covering the sun, and the other one is carrying the camera and will so be able to take pictures of the outer layer where these outbursts happen and send the pictures to the scientists, and then they do their magic and provide all these catastrophic things from happening. Today, these satellites are still in the clean room, here in Belgium, in Flanders, in Kruibeke, in Kinetic, where I work. And this is me with my babies. You can imagine I really love my job. I get to go to work every day with them. I go into the clean room, I wear this beautiful dress with something beautiful on my head, but it's so much fun. So, as it was already announced, I am actually a big, big space nerd. And I am here to turn you into space nerds as well. And I'm gonna do this with 3 awesome facts. Here we go. First of all, there is your daily life. Space is actually everywhere in your daily life. Second fact is that society is benefiting a lot from space. And the third fact is that we go to space in order to improve Earth. But before we go into these 3 facts, let me quickly show you where the space sector is mostly going on. All right, we have the sun, we have Earth, we have rockets leaving the Earth, and they are actually bringing satellites to their orbits or humans, astronauts, to space. Did you know that actually it's about 2 times that such a rocket is launched from the Earth? That's a lot, right? Then we have, obviously, the International Space Station, the ISS, where the astronauts go these days. And I need to tell you that it's been more than 20 years since we were all on the planet together. Because for all this time, there was at least 1 person up in the ISS. Then we have satellites, and we have the moon. And on the moon, it's actually been over 50 years since we last went there. And that's a pretty long time ago already. Next time, when you look at the stars, I would love for you guys to try and find the ISS or some satellites. Because actually, you can see them from here on Earth. You know, you can download an app, and then this app will help you find out which one is a star and which one is actually a satellite. Really cool thing to do. And then, last but not least, there is Mars. All right, so here we have the most important parts. Then, I really want to go into my facts, actually. So first of all, we have your daily life. I'm going to tell you a story, and it's going to be about your daily life, I hope. And it's up to you to try and find where space is intervening with your life. All right. Imagine you wake up, you take your phone, and you check the weather. It's going to be beautiful today. So you decide to go to the beach. You put on your glasses, you hop out of bed, you get dressed, you go outside, you hop in your car, and you navigate towards the beach. And once you're there, you see how beautiful it is. So you take pictures with your phone. That was my story. Let's discover where space was intervening. First of all, you should know that satellites play a very important role in your daily life. They are making it possible to forecast the weather and to navigate around. But there's another cool thing, actually. The technology that is invented for the cameras of satellites is also inside your phone. So you are actually using a little satellite every day. And then there's something else. There is memory foam. And memory foam is actually a material that is used in some of your beds and your pillows, and it was created for astronauts to brace their landings. So their seats are made of this memory foam. So when you go to bed tonight, you should really check if you have this memory foam, because if you do, then it means that you are sleeping in a bed made for astronauts. That's cool, right? And then there is one other really cool fact, and that is scratch-free glasses. Scratch-free glasses were actually made for astronauts, for the visors of their helmets. So if you put on your glasses, you should know that this is the first piece of your astronaut suit. All right, that was my first fact. Let's get into the second one. Society is benefiting a lot from space. A lot of people ask me, why are we going to space if we have all these difficult problems to solve here on Earth? Well, that's exactly why. For example, the medical sector. Did you know that the robotic arm of the ISS, that the technology used for that arm was actually also used in robotic legs? And then there is another thing. I want to tell you what actually these astronauts have been doing inside of the ISS for all these 20 years, remember? Well, they have been conducting scientific research. And the most important scientific research that they've done is about cancer treatment. That's very cool. And then there's another topic. I think you kind of know, because it was mentioned before, climate change. Yes. Also a big problem we have here on Earth. Well, something you should know. Astronauts discovered that on board the ISS, where there is microgravity environment, so not a lot of gravity, almost none, they can burn a cool flame. And a cool flame is actually, literally, a cool flame, because it burns at way lower temperatures than a flame here on Earth. So if we compare both of them, the one in microgravity would burn at 400 degrees Celsius, and the one here would burn at 1,000 degrees Celsius. You're wondering why I'm telling you this? Well, if we would be able to burn this cool flame here on Earth, then we would be able to produce way less polluting cars. That's cool, right? And then there is satellites. Satellites are also contributing a lot to the fight against climate change. Take, for example, solar panels. They are everywhere these days. And then there's the most important things that satellites are doing. They are giving us pictures of the Earth. Thanks to the pictures that we get from Earth observation satellites, we are able to monitor, for example, deforestation or the melting of ice caps, or even the health of crops as information to farmers. So, thank you, satellites. Okay, that was my second fact. Now, all this technology that I just told you, and all these applications, and way more that I couldn't really go into right now because of the timing, you get for a fee, for a subscription fee of less than €2 a month. So, Belgians, next time when you pay your taxes, you should know that €2 is going to all these awesome applications. All right, then we have the third fact, improving Earth. We go to space not to improve space. Why would we want to improve space, you know? We go to space to improve the Earth and life on Earth. You know that a lot of astronauts that went to the ISS and were able to see the Earth with their own eyes, it really hit them how there are no boundaries on the Earth. And this made them realize how we are all one and how we should all work together to make our lives better here on Earth and to make our planet better. That is exactly why I am really looking forward to space tourism. Because that would enable all of you and me to go to space and to see all of this with our own eyes. And you know what? It's not even that impossible. Because actually, it would take you 1 day to go to the ISS. That means that you can take a long weekend and just visit the ISS, see the Earth with your own eyes. Amazing. And then there is more. To go to the moon, you would only need to take 1 week of holidays. It would take you only 3 days to go there. That is like so close by. Now these two things, they seem quite possible. Then there's the story of Mars. It takes you 7 months to go to Mars. That means that you would have to take 2 years of holidays. Okay, that's a bit much for me. And I have good news, actually. Today, you can already go to space. Space tourism is already real, it's already there. It would cost you about the price of a house, and you would only go for about 10 minutes. So I'd rather wait and spend my money on a trip to the moon, you know? But I really believe it's going to be possible. And you know what? If I would manage, I would maybe be the first woman on the moon. Because up until now, no woman has ever set foot on the moon. Crazy. Then I want to tell you that the space world is really, really booming these days. It's crazy out there. So we need a lot of new talent. And we don't only need engineers. We need space lawyers, space businessmen, space scientists, anything. And you put space in front, we need it. So now that you are a space nerd, you might as well join us. And then there's actually one more thing. I have to tell you that I kind of lied to you when I said that I prepared 3 facts to turn you into a space nerd. I won. Look at this picture. Space is just cool, right?